Rescue 3, you probably do one full arrest.
PD, go ahead, rescue.
That's 50 arrest.
No questions or orders.
5 minutes.
Copy. See you on arrival.
Shock advised.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to our very first podcast episode after the encode.
After the encode. I don't know what that voice was.
Me neither.
Honestly, we've tried filming this intro quite a few times.
100.
100, actually. And we've realized we can't do a script. We just got to go after it.
I'm over it. I don't even care. I'm going to cuss.
Oh, bleep it. Bleep. Rein it in a little bit.
All right, we're reading. What are we ringing?
Right. Reining it in.
We're reining it in.
Reining it in. That's, anyways,
I'm reined in.
welcome to After the Encode with Tori.
And Caden.
I'm a nurse.
I am licensed. No. I just want to say I'm a firefighter paramedic.
That's all you got to say.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a firefighter paramedic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Licensed by the state of Florida.
Florida. Ugh.
Ooh, yeah. To take care of the sick, the injured, the crazy,
Do you run
the
on
insane.
Florida Man?
Florida men? Yeah, I run on lots of Florida men.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's scary.
Well, I am a registered nurse in the state of Florida. I work in the pediatric emergency department. Not sure for you which one's scarier, Florida men or children.
Children.
Children?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Most people feel that way.
Yeah.
Well, our podcast is called After the Encode. And for the people who don't work in emergency services, do you want to tell them what an encode is?
So how a typical call would be ran would be I, as the firefighter paramedic, would be taking the patient to the emergency room, to Tori per se. On the way there, we give the hospital a shout, let them know what we're coming with, kind of what's going on, a quick little heads up so they are ready for what we're bringing them.
Yeah, they radio into us. We have like a little intercom at our nurse's station that we radio back, which is a little bit of the sounds you guys
Maybe.
heard in our intro music. Maybe we respond. Maybe we don't.
I have
Maybe
gotten
they tell us how
ghosted.
far away they are. Maybe they just show up.
If you're a nurse listening to this and I deliver patients to your ER, be honest, you ghost me sometimes because I'd be calling and
No one answers.
no answer.
They don't
And
wanna talk
then,
to you.
yeah. And I
They got
just
better
say,
things to do.
Okay.
Well, that's how it's supposed to go.
Bye.
They radio in, we radio back. They tell us what's coming. They tell us how far away they are. Like I said, sometimes they tell us they're 5 minutes away. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're like, we're here.
That goes both ways. And if you're a nurse and I encoded, hi, we're here now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a big
Did you
heads
know
up.
actually that sometimes I like to respond to the encodes in different accents? Have I ever told you that?
No, but I've heard your accents and
They're good.
they're pretty racist.
No, that's getting cut.
It's not getting
No,
cut.
that's getting cut.
I'm the one who edits these things and it's getting
The
left
only
in.
accent I do is like British.
Okay.
That or like from Gone with the Wind.
Do your Hispanic accent.
No, I do a British. I respond in my British. I'll do it for you guys later.
Hello.
Anyways.
Rescue.
That's what an encode is. But this podcast is not about encodes. It's about after the encode.
After.
So what does that mean? Pretty much just our life outside of work. Why should you care? I honestly have no idea.
Probably
I don't know
you
why
shouldn't.
you should care.
And there's not, if you were listening, you're probably not listening.
You went to school for marketing and we're not doing a good job.
No. This podcast, honestly, is just doomed from the beginning.
We'll get it together. Don't worry.
Oh,
But
wait. No, it's good. You should listen to it.
did you learn that in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, what's the podcast going to be about? Well, every week we're planning on posting on Wednesdays. We'll see about that. But every week we're planning on just telling you guys about what happened the past week at work as much as we can without, HIPAA.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to say too much, but we're going to be talking about patient names.
We're going to be dropping
and
some
we're going to be
birthdays.
dropping, some socials.
Some account numbers maybe even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
be prepared for that. But no, really, we'll be talking a little bit about the past week, any interesting stories we have or like crazy things that happened at work, even if it doesn't have to do with patients. I feel like there's enough that happens in the hospital, between fire rescue, really in all different categories for us to talk about. But each episode is going to have a different theme or topic about things outside of work. After the encode, off shift. If you don't work emergency services, you probably have no idea what the lifestyle is when you're not working a 9 to 5. So we're going to really dive into what that looks like.
I mean, if you're, maybe we learn how to speak too on this podcast. I
We
don't
are
know.
not, if you're looking for the aesthetic voices, they talk really calm and they pronounce things right, you're on the wrong podcast.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
And if you're looking for an intelligent firefighter, very politically correct,
I disagree with this.
then
You are very smart.
You are listening to the wrong firefighter. But I'm going to be real. I'm going to tell you what the deal is. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to give you the interview answers. This is the real deal. Sorry if you don't like it.
Exactly. And that's pretty much what the podcast is about. I will say we do travel a lot, the two of us. That's one huge perk of our jobs is the ability to travel, and sometimes without even actually taking any time off if we schedule it right. So our very first official episode, because this is more like the welcome intro, our very first official episode is going to be out of this country.
Woo,
You're not supposed to tell the people where we're going.
Oh.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
Okay.
We'll go back and bleep that, and then they won't know where we're going.
Yeah.
At least you didn't try to do like accents or something that would give it away.
We'll bleep that too.
We're going to bleep that.
Okay.
For sure. So anyways, we're taking you guys international with us. We're going to actually a few different countries. So we're planning on podcasting in all of those. So that's a little bit about the podcast. We're going to be throwing some segments in. We're going to show you guys on this episode doing stories from the ER. And
911 what?
Well, I was going to tell you, Caden came up
911 what?
with a clever name. That's the name. Go ahead.
It's called 911 what?
911 what? That's going to be the segment.
No, it's 911 what?
What am I doing different than that?
Say it again.
911 what?
Mm-mm.
What's wrong with it?
It's okay.
Okay, I'll work on it, I guess. So we'll be doing segments
We're
like
gonna be doing some Sega.
maybe we'll be doing some stroke assessments
Sega
if I keep
what?
messing up the way I talk.
Yep.
So we'll be doing segments
Mm-hmm.
like that to entertain all the people, medical, non-medical. You work at Target, you work at Starbucks, you work in the ER, doesn't matter. Everyone's gonna be entertained around here. That's the goal.
Maybe or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Probably not.
Hmm.
Anyways, do we?
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
What's that?
This is a transition. So we probably shouldn't move forward in this podcast and get to the stories and the segments until we tell you guys a little bit about us. So Caden, do you want to tell the people about you?
So, long story short, I'm just a guy born, raised in Vero. Went to Vero High School. Met a blonde chick named Tori. And we went to prom together. Fast forward, you don't get that story, though, till later on.
We will tell that story.
Maybe not.
It's a little
Will we?
cringy.
Yeah, it's cringe.
No, keep going.
All right. Fast forward, go to UCF. Blonde girl follows me there.
I did not follow you.
I didn't say you.
Oh, you got another blonde girl following you to college?
It was Tori.
It was me. But I didn't follow him. Let's just be clear.
Okay. She didn't follow me. But we were there together. I went to school for marketing, decided that's not what I wanted to do, and then became a firefighter paramedic.
I was planning on asking you to tell the people why you didn't go into marketing, but I think that's going to be pretty clear from the start of this podcast.
Watch our podcast. It sucks.
So naturally, he left that and went into firefighting. Why'd you choose firefighting?
My poppy.
No.
Cut. Cut. Sorry. That got really weird. I'm sorry. My father, Robert.
What about your dad?
He's a firefighter too.
Yeah. Same department and everything.
Same department.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I do social media sometimes.
That's true. So most firefighters actually have a second job because they are severely underpaid, which again, different episode. But so Caden has a second job.
Help me, I'm poor.
Honestly.
So
he does social media.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it at all?
Not
what
really.
What kind of social medias?
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Wait, you know my Meemaw called me the other day and she told me she downloaded TikTok to watch your videos.
Amazing.
She's 86. Meemaw, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I think 86. She just had a birthday.
Amazing.
But she tells me that she downloaded TikTok to watch you and she goes, I make sure every time that I hit that little heart and I like that video.
You sound just like her.
She's country.
Yeah.
Anyways, thought you might
that's
want to
very
know
sweet.
that.
Thank you to all the Meemaws out there if you follow me.
Meemaws love you.
Thank you.
How'd you get into TikTok, Caden?
From you.
From me?
Yes, you know this.
Tell.
She convinced me to make a video back in COVID times.
I did. It was 2020. The year was 2020.
Everyone was in masks.
I
There was
had
no
no
toilet
job.
paper.
There was
Grocery
really no toilet
stores
paper.
were empty.
But actually, Meemaw sent us a lot of toilet paper, so we were good. But it was 2020, and I just moved. We both moved here from Orlando, and I started a new job, but I got furloughed because they couldn't afford to be training people because our census wasn't high enough in the emergency department. So I was just lonely and home and bored. And what did everyone do in 2020 but download and scroll on TikTok?
Not I, though.
No.
Originally.
So he judged TikTok, just so you guys all know. He was a hater. So I begged. I was like, I have this great idea. There was a trend happening at the time. It was the Jason Derulo, like, dare, dare, dare,
Whew, I'm glad that video's buried.
Yeah. So it was that was like the theme. And I was like, we should do it, but we should dress like we should go and then transition into scrubs and bunker
cliche
gear.
nurse firefighter collab.
Very cliche. It kind of plays into our stereotype. Okay. Which actually I should probably touch on this. To all of my nurse friends who might be watching this, I know, okay? I know I broke the rule, the 4 Ps. I crossed the boundary, but in my defense, he was not a firefighter when we met. He was going for marketing. So I was originally in the clear. It's not my fault. He turned and went into firefighting.
What is that?
The 4 Ps?
Yes.
You know what the 4 Ps are.
I don't know that, no.
I would say it's an unspoken rule, but it's not even that unspoken. Everyone talks about it. At least in the emergency room, you're not supposed to date the 4 Ps. So can you try to at least guess what they are?
I'm going to say one is police officer. Now I'm guessing one is a paramedic.
How do you think firefighting fits into the 4 Ps?
Firefighting with a PH?
Firefighting with a P, or how I like to say firefighting. Wait.
I'm a pirate?
No, you're right. It's firefighting, but with a P.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So firefighting, police, paramedics.
That's so dumb. You can
Wait, there's one more. Providers.
Oh, providers. Why stay
providers.
away from them? Don't they make the
Yeah, I don't think it's
the
actually-
money?
Who, providers? It's mainly residents. And because, well, I'm not going to speak badly about other professions, but they're just known for being certain types of way in relationships as your profession is.
Everyone, everyone come for her. All providers
don't
come for her
me.
right
no, don't
now.
come for me because people say firefighters are cheaters, so you better speak to that.
They're not. They're certainly not.
And then we know what they say about cops, but we're not going to talk about that kind of stuff on this podcast. And it's also not true.
We are going to talk about that kind of stuff,
No,
though,
we're not.
but not right now.
Not right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even remember where I was going with that, but
I don't know. You never introduced yourself, though, or like told anything about you.
That's true, yeah. So I also went to Vero Beach High School. That's where we met. That's going to be the next story, so don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a health science program in high school. I joined TOSA, which I got to go to like retirement homes and different assisted living,
Sound it out.
living facilities
Mm-hmm.
as clinicals when I was like 17, which was pretty cool for a 17-year-old to be doing. And then I graduated high school with my CNA, which is my certified nursing assistant. I also did like a night school in high school to be a phlebotomist just because, well, actually at the time I had a fear of needles. I would pass out every single time I'd get my blood drawn. And I was like, well, this isn't going to work if I want to be a nurse. So I took a phlebotomy course, night shift or a night class to try to be better. I'm all good now, usually. Anyways.
You've let me start IVs on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're fine.
He's not very good.
No, I am
He's
good.
not very good.
Don't. That's not true. I get them every time. On you, at least.
If you're an audio listener, I'm shaking my head. Anyways, so then I went to UCF because I knew I wanted to go into nursing, and UCF has a really great nursing program. So I went to UCF. I did not follow Caden. When we met, we were both already going there. And I actually went a semester early. So if anything, you followed me. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You followed me there.
Whatever, we're not talking about that right now.
Scrawny little skater boy followed me to UCF.
Scrawny?
You were scrawny at the time.
Okay.
So he wasn't a firefighter, and he had no muscles when we met. Let me just put that out there. You were scrawny.
Yeah, I was. So why did you like me?
That was a good question.
Oh my God. Moving on.
So I graduated UCF with my nursing degree. I stayed in Orlando for a while, and I worked as a pediatric nurse, and then segued when we moved from inpatient, like med-surg, step-down peds to peds emergency, which is where I plan on staying.
Woo.
I think that's it.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Oh, something else about me. I'm a hobby hopper. Hence this podcast. Do you know what a hobby hopper is?
You just hop
Yeah,
from
I think
hobby to hobby?
I'm not sure if it's an ADHD thing or if like regular people have this, but I hobby hop. So currently behind this camera is a piano because for like a total of 2 months I decided I was going to be a pianist. Then, what else? I got paddleboard, rollerblades, podcast equipment, puzzles. I did puzzles for a while.
Puzzles.
I read. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. So, should we tell them how we met?
Is that what we're getting into?
Yeah.
All right. So, how we met.
How we met.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Actually, it was like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it was 10 years ago when we met.
Well, we've been married for
This
like.
was right before my birthday.
We've been married 2 now?
Caden,
What?
3. We're
Oh.
going on 3 years. Don't
Yeah.
act like you don't know. Roast him in the comments below for that.
I know what day it is. We got married on March 21st, 2021.
Caden.
What?
Stop lying.
Okay. It was around that time, though.
Okay. Anyways,
We'll
met
touch
on that later.
In 2014, right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So the weird thing about how we met and just us in general is that we're from a small town, arguably a pretty small town.
Mm-hmm.
Our high school wasn't that small, but small enough to where you pretty much knew everybody. And I didn't meet Caden or even know who he was until senior year of high school.
We had a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah, and it was like not second. How did the semesters work in high school? It was last semester of high school.
2?
I thought there was 4.
I have dementia.
Okay, well, either way, we met in the new year of our senior year. So we were both at a party, one of the Beachside Kids party.
Yeah, Beachside Kids.
That's a
Beachside
thing in
cliques.
So we had different cliques at our school, like every school. I feel like we had country kids, band kids, but we specifically had a clique at our school called the Beachside Kids. I don't know if the Beachside Kids know that that's what we called them.
They definitely did.
I was friends with a lot of them.
And you know who you are.
I'm still
You're
friends
a
with a
Beachside
lot
kid.
of them.
They used to shove me in lockers.
No, they didn't.
No, they
You were
didn't. I was
friends
friends
with
with a lot of them.
Obviously, we were at this party.
Yeah.
So we both went to this Beachside Kid party. So I was there with one of his friends. We got there. We got introduced. I actually took a picture of him with my best friend, Kaylee. And that's how she ended up with your phone number. Fast forward. I'm going to tell my side of this story. So then fast forward. I was having a big birthday party at my house. It was my 18th birthday. It was a big party. And we were trying to figure out like who to invite. I was going through some boy troubles at the time. So me and my best friend Kaylee were trying to brainstorm like who to invite or like who I should turn my focus on or whatever. And she presented Caden as an option. She's the matchmaker. So all shout outs go to Kaylee for 10 years later, the fact that we're together.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of matchmaked and put us together. But Caden did not know that at the time. So she told me, she's like, I'm going to invite Caden to your birthday party. And I was like, perfect. I love that idea. Met him at the party. He's so cute. Like, let's do it. Oh, so sweet. Not quite so sweet. Because Caden came to the party. Who'd you come to the party for,
Okay.
Caden?
In my defense, I didn't know what you guys had scheming. I thought that me and Kaylee were talking.
My best friend.
Yes.
He came to my birthday party for my best friend.
She invited me, though. So, like, well,
for me.
What was I supposed? Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't even know. I met you for a little bit. I didn't even know you liked me.
What's so funny now is that when Caden showed up to this party and quickly realized that Kaylee did not invite him for her because she was with a different guy at my birthday party. Her
future husband.
So they're married now. They have a baby. Mm-hmm. His name's Hoyt. He's very cute. And we're obviously married now. So it's just like a funny full circle moment. But he did originally go after my best friend and not me.
Imagine my surprise when I come to this party and
so
the girl that I was
love at first sight.
talking to was with another man.
He was with another man. Oh, wait. She was with another man.
She was a boy back then.
No. That's controversial. She was with another guy, and it clearly was not love at first sight for you because you were going after her. You were pursuing my best friend. I was in
shambles. I didn't even know what I was doing there, to be honest. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have some water.
I went in for the kill. So fast forward after my birthday, we ended up talking. She gave him my number. I don't really know what happened after that, but we started talking. We talked. And we were texting a lot, and I'm pretty sure it was still Kaylee who was matchmaking behind the scenes and told you to
she said that
ask me to prom.
Well, I think I got invited onto the party bus.
You did. I invited you onto the party bus.
So I thought I was just coming to party on a bus.
We organized the prom party bus, and we needed a few more people, and obviously I wanted him to go anyway, so I had reached out to him after my birthday, and I was like, you should come on my party bus. Didn't ask him to prom. I just said, come on the bus. Mm-hmm. He said yes. And then Kaylee, I think, planted to you that you should ask me.
Yeah. And I was like, do you think she'd want to go? And
yes.
Kaylee's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay.
I already knew.
So I went to find a goat.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I asked her to prom with a goat.
A goat. A real physical goat.
Yeah.
Eating the grass in my front yard.
So Tori's favorite animal is a goat.
Yeah, but like not in a weird way.
Red flag. Yeah, no, it's always in a weird way if your favorite animal is a goat.
The goat people are going to come for you.
I apologize, goat people, but
there's nothing wrong with having a farm animal.
Like your favorite animal could be like a dragon, or
that's not a real animal.
Okay, well it could be like a unicorn or something.
Also not a real animal.
But a goat?
I don't think there's anything weird about that.
Caught me off guard.
If you watch literally any video of baby goats, you would understand why. They're so cute. So, anyways, I don't know if I told him I like goats or if somebody else.
Yeah, you for sure did.
No, it's
yeah,
not like it's not like I'm out here talking about goats.
Yeah, you had a goat T-shirt and you're like,
No, I
goats,
didn't.
goats, goats, goats. And I was like, dude, are you sure I asked her to prom?
That did not happen.
Goats, goats. It's like
He's fibbing.
It's like what's your favorite animal? Mine's, a dog. And then she says hers is a goat.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah. So, but really likes goats.
Not
really
that.
likes goats.
I do, but not like. Anyways, there was one at our wedding, but that's a whole different. So he showed up to my house with a goat. Okay,
I
long
asked
story
her
short.
to prom with a goat.
But what did the sign say, Caden?
Well, what did they call them like back in the day?
Promposals.
Promposals.
I think they still do, but I think now it's like, here's a Lamborghini. Will you go to prom with me?
Yeah, sorry,
kids
I
these
didn't have
days.
a Lamborghini. I had a goat.
Yeah.
And it
His name was Prince.
was it?
Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm gonna remember that. So he showed up to my house. I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen.
Nope.
Yeah, I am. And then
Nope.
you guys comment below if you think he was scrawny skater boy.
Oh my god, I hate this.
So I don't know where it came from either.
I hate this.
Off the dome. So he showed up to my front yard with a sign that said,
Will you go? Wait, no. It was, will
Yeah.
you go to prom with me?
"Prom."
Oh man, kill
Yeah,
me. She
but
said yes though.
I said yes. We went
that's
to prom.
long story short.
We started dating. We obviously bonded when we met over the fact that we were both going to UCF. Then we went to UCF together, and
the
10
rest
years
is
later,
history.
here we are with the podcast.
And now we have a podcast that nobody's listening to. Boom, we've made it, people. But enough about us. If you're still listening, Mom, you're here for the stories. The 911.
911. All right, Caden. So I'm going to start first with my 911 what? And just so you know, guys, this isn't just fire rescue stories. This is really any medical stories. Okay, so this is a story that I found actually on TikTok. So I want to give a little shout out to the creator I took this from. His name's Dr. Joe. He's a doctor on TikTok. So this is his story.
Thanks, Dr. Joe.
Thanks, Dr.
Sorry
Joe.
no nurses are ever going to date you because you're a P.
Caden,
Oh,
you're a P. Anyways.
sorry, Dr. Joe.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. Okay, 22-year-old female goes to the emergency department with complaints of abdominal pain. She said it started a few days ago and it hasn't gone away. After doing an initial exam, the doctor realized that the pain's lower than her abdomen and is more likely a pelvic problem than an abdominal problem. He orders a pelvic ultrasound to look at her ovaries and uterus. But the ultrasound tech comes out of the room after starting the exam and says, "Doc, you got to come see this. There's something sticking out of her vagina." The doctor asks her, "Well, what is it?" And the ultrasound tech responds saying she has no clue, but it looks like a tree branch. The doc tells her to hold the ultrasound so he can go and do a more thorough internal exam. At first glance, he sees what the tech was seeing, the tree branches, but the further he looks, he finds an entire potato.
A potato looks nothing like a tree branch.
The potato has sprouted a ton of roots
Okay.
inside her vagina.
Oh, it's growing.
It's growing. That's what the tree branches were. It was the roots from the potato.
Is
A
that
potato
like
flew around the room.
is that like a good climate to grow potatoes in?
I guess it's like dark and moist, so it
Oh
sprouts.
God, don't say moist.
Don't ask me if it's a good climate to grow a potato. I
All right,
don't
where's
know.
this going?
Okay, so the doc removed the roots and the potato and just had one question left for the patient. Why did you put a potato in your vagina?
And the answer?
The patient tells him that her mom told her once that if she didn't want to get pregnant, she should put a potato in there. That's it. That's the story.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Well, actually, I was watching this show on Netflix, and back in the day, they would put lemon wedges
Ow.
in there
Ow.
to keep from getting pregnant. Where did the potato go?
Like after the fact?
Mm-hmm. Garbage or biohazard?
Kitchen.
Stop. If you guys are order potato wedges at the hospital,
Oh,
I'm just
God.
saying. I'm going to be honest. Researching this, and just so you guys know, it is so hard to find a story that doesn't have to do with somebody putting something in an orifice on their body.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much every single story. So this one that I found, it was still an
Y'all
item.
are freaks.
What is going on?
Y'all are freaks.
Like, they have specific things for that. Anyways, so if you guys want to write in stories, put them in the comments or send them to our email in the bio of better stories that maybe don't have to do with sticking things places, that'd be super cool.
Yeah. If not, then we'll just keep going on Reddit.
yeah, it's going to get weird if that happens.
It's already weird. Okay. I have a good story for 911. What? And it is not about someone inserting something. This is an article, not from TikTok, not from Dr. Joe. A farmer whose piglets were saved from a barn fire has served the animals have served the animals up as sausages to thank the firefighters who rescued them.
What?
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I didn't read too much of this beforehand. I wasn't as prepared as you. I don't know where the story's going anymore.
Wait. So what part of this story did you read?
Well, that they saved piglets? I thought this was happy.
This is not a happy story.
Okay.
Wait, keep reading.
Okay. The baby pigs and 2 sows were freed by firefighters from Pusey in Wiltshire when a barn went up in flames in February. Okay. The farmer promised she would present the firefighters with organic sausages when the animals were slaughtered for their meat.
No.
This is getting dark.
No.
Let's see if it turns around. Okay. 6 months later, she did just that, and the firefighters cooked the bangers on a barbecue.
Wait, so you're telling me, hold on, that the firefighters...
I'll be honest with you, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be.
The firefighters ran on a barn fire, rescued the animals, like a newspaper cover worthy story.
Correct.
Heroes of these little tiny cutie little baby piglets.
Correct.
To then 6 months later be hand delivered their meat.
It would appear so.
But I feel like, why would the farmer think that's a good idea?
This was just a token gesture to the fire service. They were over the moon with them.
No.
This is just what we do. We are not an animal sanctuary, okay? Real. We give the pigs the best opportunity and best life they could have for 6 months.
Don't get me wrong. I am from, like we said, Vero, which is very much beachy, but also has a very predominant countryside. My Meemaw, obviously, I have a Meemaw. I have no issue with that. But to save the piglets and then deliver them to the fire department, how would you feel if you were on shift and you saved those animals and then they're like, here's some bacon for the morning?
We do the same thing with cats.
No, don't lie to the people. We're going to get, what's the animal?
PETA is coming after us.
PETA.
Shutting down the podcast,
He's
episode 1.
Kidding, okay? It's just a joke. It's not a real article.
I'm just kidding. We don't always eat them.
Is that actually a real story?
This is legit.
That's kind of disturbing.
Well, I'll get better at these 911 what things.
Yeah, maybe read them all the way through. Potatoes and pigs. That's what I should just title this podcast.
Well, I'll try again next week.
Okay.
Well,
sure.
Sorry.
Well, I have actually. Well, if we're gonna stay on the animal topic, I have 2 stories I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is a personal story. So something I witnessed myself, which is pretty cool. So, living in Florida, I guess this is a little bit Florida man, but like Florida kid. It's a very Florida kid story.
Okay.
So one time in the ER, we had a kid come in, fire rescue, for an incident that occurred at the beach with some wildlife. So he came in because he was swimming, and I don't exactly know how it happened, but he ended up with his arm, a stinger, like a stingray's stinger? What are they called? Barb?
Yeah, it would be a barb.
A barb?
I would think.
So a stingray's barb through his, like literally woven through his arm. Like it went in, it came out, it went back in, and then it stayed in. Which was pretty insane. The kid, he's fine. He was awake, alert, talking to us, making jokes about it. Cute kid.
Hard.
Yeah, and he knew what was up. Like, he knew it was a cool injury that people were going to want to see. And the x-ray, like, I wish I could have taken a photo of this x-ray. But the
What about you were showing me all the x-rays and stuff.
No, I wasn't. He's trying to get me fired. That did not happen.
Continue. The pictures were great, though.
He didn't see the pictures. Okay. I wish I had them. It was really cool, though, because you could completely see the stinger's barb, like, in his arm on the x-ray.
That was pretty cool.
It was wild. So cool. It was really cool. He went to the OR, made a full recovery. He's totally fine.
They ate the stingray.
That's where this is going.
Months later, they delivered the stingray, and it was delicious.
I do wonder, like, in that situation, if it was me, I'd want to keep it.
The
like,
stingray?
If a stinger was through my
barb?
arm, yeah, I'd want to keep it.
It's a great story.
So this is a firefighter story. This I got off Reddit. I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'm just going to give you the cliff notes. So this firefighter was saying that they ran on a garage fire, and when they got there, they went into the house to do like a search and rescue. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah,
if
do
you're gonna go
search.
check the house out. So they went into the house after the garage fire was put out, or maybe one team was on the garage fire and the other team was searching the house.
Happens.
And when they went in, they said it was like really heavy smoke conditions, but that they could see that the entire living room was like big containers of different animals. So it seemed like it was predominantly like reptiles and rodents, like reptiles and rodents.
Hate that.
I know. So it was like snakes, tarantulas. I think there were some turtles, stuff like that. So they started to form some like the line that starts at one end and you go to the end and you like
Assembly line.
an assembly line. So they form an assembly line and they start like passing these containers down. Exactly. Like very like Snow White. What's the song that they sing when they're the little dwarves?
La la da 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 da.
No.
Wait, that was Shrek, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't it. Anyways,
I
they're
haven't watched that.
you know,
movie
they're
in
like
a long
passing
time.
it down the assembly line. So they're passing all these animals down the assembly line and they're holding a container of hamsters when the bottom gives out. I don't know if it was like the way they were holding this container, but the bottom of the hamsters gives out. So all of these hamsters just started scurrying around this house that's got like heavy smoke conditions. So the guy who was writing this story in the Reddit said it was hilarious just to watch all of these firefighters drop down to their knees and start chasing after these hamsters.
Yeah, that would be tough. It's hard enough to get like dogs and
I couldn't
cats.
tell you how many times
So-
I've lost hamsters just in a regular house, like not on fire, just because hamsters are tricky little things. And thank God, at least for me, like it wasn't a container of snakes.
No, I hate that.
So they're just all running around trying to chase and capture all of these hamsters. I don't know the ending. I don't know if they got them all or not.
Probably not.
All right, so this is another personal story. This isn't like a feel good or like a, oh my God, funny. This is like a holy shit story, I think. This is a 911, what the f***? So it was 2020. And during COVID times, we had screening desks in the front of the emergency departments where nurses would have to sit and they'd have to ask like COVID screening questions to patients that came in. So I think I made it very clear in this podcast that I am a pediatric nurse. I don't do adults, okay? I don't take care of the adults. 18 is my limit. And even that, I'm like, I like the little babies. So I'm sitting between the adult and the pediatric emergency departments at this hospital and asking my regular COVID questions when a woman is walking up with her friend and she's holding her friend up and her friend is like not responsive. She's walking, but she's like not responding, not talking, nothing. So I run over and I grab a wheelchair and I put her friend in the wheelchair and I'm asking her like, does she have any medical history? Is she diabetic? Did she take anything? Like, did she do any drugs? What's going on? And her friend's like, I don't know. She was at a party I was at. I just brought her here. And I was like, okay. And she's like, but my car is in the ambulance bay. I'm going to go move it. And I was like, okay, go move it and come back in.
Thank you.
I should have known better because she's not coming back. The friend,
No, she's
she's not coming back. So I put this woman who's not talking, not responding in the wheelchair. I take her vital signs and then I start rolling her into the adult emergency department to the triage. So I roll her into triage and she's sitting in the wheelchair and I go and I get the adult nurse and I'm like, hey, I have a patient for you. I don't know what's going on. She's not talking. She's not responding, but I got her in this wheelchair and her vitals are fine. And she's like, okay. So she comes over and she reaches down to, I don't know, maybe get her out of the wheelchair. I'm not sure. Or just check a pulse herself, you know, double check what I had already said. Cause again, she's like slouched over. She reaches over to check this woman's pulse and this woman jumps up so fast, wide awake now, wide awake, jumps up, pop, pop, pop.
Oh,
She
starts swinging on her?
And I'm sitting right here because I'm like leaned on the ground by the wheelchair. So I'm like throwing myself back and I look up and she's going after this nurse. And it was just crazy because she went from nothing to something
Yeah,
real
0 to
quick.
100.
0 to 100. And I was like, I was just talking to her, like helping her in the wheelchair, touching her, and she
World
nothing.
star.
But so anyway, so then we had to call security and they came and they got her. But and then at this point she's screaming, she's talking, she is up. So I still don't know what happened there, but
She was sleeping.
what, when she came in?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Just heavy sleeping.
I don't know.
It's like when you wake a
She was
sleepwalker
walking. No,
and
her
then
feet were
you
moving.
never wake
She
a
was just
sleep-
like this. And then I put her in the chair and she stayed slouched over. But again, holding herself up. I don't know if it was theatrics. I don't know if she was like, I'm not sure. But she did in fact start swinging on a nurse and
Well, was the other nurse okay?
she's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
she I mean, she was banged up after it happened, but I like ran and got the security officer because we're not this is where it's like a weird gray area. Like we're not supposed to lay hands on patients when that's happening, but also what are you going to do? Let somebody attack you?
No, you got to scissor kick him. Well, I would never do that to
I'm trying to have a serious
Let me-
topic conversation, and Caden's over here scissor kick him.
Well, depends. I would never condone scissor kicking a
I don't
patient.
even know what a scissor kick is.
I'll show you later.
Okay. Good. But it was crazy. And I'm over here like, where are my pediatric patients? This is not my realm. Like, my patients don't do this.
Yeah.
Like, my little babies, maybe toddlers are throwing a kick or two, but they're toddlers. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
So
I've seen a toddler scissor kick a person or two.
sure. So that's my story. It was pretty crazy. I was like, I am going back to my world. These are not my people. So adult emergency nurses, shout out to you, because that's a whole other beast.
All right. So that is just about it for our first episode of After the Encode. And I think it went all right.
It went pretty good, I think.
It went okay. We're going to get better.
Yeah.
We'll improve. My stories, that one, pretty good. Next one, probably even better.
Okay.
But anyways, if anything else, the next podcast will be cool because we'll be in.
Caden,
What?
I already told you not to say the name of where we're going.
Well, you guys don't get to know that yet. Then the one after that will be in.
Okay. He's just exposing all of our trip destinations.
I'm just excited.
We are. So actually we're going on like how long are we going to be gone? 3 weeks?
3 weeks, baby.
We're going on a 3-week vacation, international, couple different destinations. And like I mentioned earlier, we are you guys.
I'm sorry.
Stop telling people. Your mom doesn't even know where we're going. She will now.
Well, it's all getting bleeped.
Anyways, we're bringing you guys with us. So we're excited for the next episode. This was more of just an intro episode, give you a little idea of what the podcast is going to be about. Hopefully a little better next time.
Yeah.
When we're
If
prepared.
you like it, send it to a friend.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, send it to your worst enemy. Ruin their day. Waste their time.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you learn that in marketing?
I learned a lot of stuff in marketing, and that's going to be very apparent in these upcoming
Oh, good Lord.
episodes.
Somebody help me. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. This was After the Encode with Tori and Caden.
Thank you, nobody. Have a good one.